everybody. Welcome to another edition of Olympic Minds Leadership Beyond Limits. I'm Sherry Wynn, your podcast host. Today I have with me a good friend of mine, Cindy. I want to tell you more about Cindy as we talk a little bit. But this is a podcast for the leader of leaders, the visionary of visionaries. It is for those people who want to go beyond mediocrity into mastery, and those people who want to go beyond success into significance. This is not a theory-based podcast. This is because it is from people who've lived the life. They have lived the experience. They have been there. They've done that. So it's really grit-tested and heart-proven, results-driven. So I'm Sherry Wynn, two-time Olympian, national championship basketball coach, CEO of the Winning Leadership Company, and author of too many books to mention right now. But I want to tell you a little bit about Cindy. So I met her probably only about 7 months ago. I don't know exactly. But what attracted me to her was her energy. We were in a mastermind group. And I could just feel this energy across the room. And I'm a person who loves energy. I feel energy. And I loved her energy. I wanted to get to know her better. And so, of course, I had to go find out who she was. And ever since then, what she's brought is more joy. So we have conversations weekly. And she brings, and the reason she brings joy, she actually is the author of, I don't know what do you call that, the Joy of Life Method. And she helps women across, the business women across the world, learn how to step into joy even while they're working. So Cindy, why don't you tell us a little bit more about you and about the Joy of Life Method, and let people know, like, just the positive, energetic flow that you bring to this world that we need so much more of.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Sherry, for having me on your beautiful podcast. It's a real honor. And for me, it's also amazing to have met you. And I'm so grateful for our weekly meeting. So thank you for that. First of all, I wanted to say this. Apart from that, so my name is Cindy van Eekhout, and I'm originally from Belgium. And after finishing my master's degrees there, I started to work in the corporate world, which was like the most easy step to do. I started to work in the telecom sector. I worked as a sales manager, having a team of 10 people working on top 100 companies. So yes, it was amazing at that time. I learned a lot. I grew. And for me, the most important thing was that I met Dieter, my husband there. And the nice part there is not only that he became my husband, but we had quite some things in common. And the more we worked and asked questions concerning the job we were doing, even though, again, I was so grateful. It was the best start I could ever imagine, working there in that company with great colleagues, great managers. But at a certain point, we just felt there was something missing. And for us, the purpose and the joy wasn't there all the time anymore. And this is why we, after 8 years, we made the decision to stop working in the corporate world and to really follow our heart and realize our dream. So we went all the way from Belgium to the south of France, and we came with a car full, and we started here our first company more than 20 years ago with the name of Alegria B&B. So this is the first time that the word joy of life, came into our lives, because alegría is a Spanish word for joy of life.
I didn't know that. I'm glad I know that now. Thank you for sharing this. What a beautiful way to start. Like, just to name your whole company after the joy of life. That's beautiful. Okay, go ahead. Tell us.
I must admit, I didn't know then that this alegría and joy of life will continue to follow us throughout our complete journey. But now I know why it was meant to be. Anyway. So we started with the B&B, and the idea was really to inspire others to have more joy in their lives, because we know what it is to have the stress and the pressure you have in the corporate world. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to give people also the nature, the sun, the very small little things in life that can bring you back this joy. Number one. After 10 years, we created a second company, Alegría Art Boutique. So this was a boutique with art, decoration, jewelry. As you know, I'm quite a big fan of jewelry and things like that. And I wanted there to, again, with my heart, choose designers that I like. Everything was homemade and handmade. And we wanted to have the joy of giving with this concept. And everything went well. But then COVID hit. And I suppose we were not the only one challenged by that period. But for us, all of a sudden, everything stood still. No more clients, no more activity. We couldn't exercise our job anymore. And I must say this was the most challenging thing, because we didn't know what to do. And this is, I think, what is so important in life, in business, in leadership. It's when a big challenge arrives that you just calm down a bit and try to find out what are some opportunities we can find out of this challenging situation. So we started to learn again, and we started to learn about all legal stuff because we decided to start a third company, Alegria Real Estate. And we wanted to help people to find not just a house, but really a home and a joy of living in Provence, the region that we love so much. So having that said, we did it all. And 2020, it was done. We started 2021. Everything was going slowly. And in 2022, and that's almost the end of the story because I'm trying to put everything in one small story. But the end of 2022, we had 3 thriving businesses. We were successful at that time, like it was the top of the top. But there was one thing that was really missing. We said we are looking very successful and we were so grateful to have the success finally after the 2 years that were a little bit challenging. But then we felt no joy anymore because we were completely exhausted and overwhelmed with the work we were having. And this is where we took the bold decision at the end of the year, because during that year we were celebrating the 20th anniversary of the B&B. So it was still emotional, but we decided again to follow our heart, which said okay, let's start a new chapter. We stopped 2 of the companies, the B&B and the Art Boutique. We continued with the real estate where my husband focused most of his time on. And that breakdown of feeling overwhelmed, stressed and having everything coming out together and having success, but feeling success really empty inside. This became our breakthrough. And this is where we founded the 4th company, the last one, Alegria Coaching. And for me, this is like a circle that becomes full there with Alegria. And this is where today I help high-achieving women, entrepreneurs and executives who feel also overwhelmed, exhausted and unfulfilled to reclaim their time, their energy and their joy without sacrificing their success and well-being.
Wow. What a journey. I mean, the boldness of that, of all the steps you took, all of that represents the boldness, bold acts, lead corporate, right? Bold acts, start a new company, bold acts, start another company, bold acts, start another third, so much of this boldness. And then you said, what I loved, you said we had to follow our heart. So tell me about, how do you follow your heart? Because I don't think people know, I think people can do risk, might do a bold thing, but the follow your heart part, how do you know what that feels like? How do you tap into follow your heart?
Thank you for this beautiful question, because it is a question that is not asked a lot today, especially not in leadership, Sherry, and it is so important. For me, I work a lot with my intuition and my heart, but I just felt, first of all, as I explained, I felt so exhausted. I was really tired. And I didn't feel this joy anymore. And I can tell you, if you have success, but you don't work on your self-care and you don't work on your boundaries and your well-being, you will slightly feel exhausted, and this exhaustion will lead to burnout. So when you have all these little signals, it's your body talking to you. This is where you just have to take a moment, even close your eyes or just go in nature and do a walk and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Is this the success that I want? Or is there something missing? And if there is something missing, what is it? And what can I do to change it? Because I love everything I did and I would do it all over again. And there is never a failure. It are just learnings and we were happy with everything. But at a certain time, when you don't feel this joy anymore, you have to say, okay, what is it that we can do to tap into our heart to feel this balance again? And this is where we decided, again, I can tell you, it was so emotional to stop with the B&B and the boutique. But when I closed my eyes, I just felt like we did it for 20 years. This is a chapter that is done.
Right.
And now we're ready for something else. And I'm going to help other people who feel it, because thanks to the experience of the corporate, of the entrepreneurship, and of everything I had, I was ready to create my Joy of Life method. And this is how I will help, I want to help people worldwide to experience this joy in their leadership and in their life.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of people. In fact, I just talked to one of my coaching clients yesterday, and she's in this situation. She's in a job she doesn't like, right? So she's like, I'm in a job, I don't like it, but I have to stay in it because I have a mortgage coming on, I have a child coming, and all these kind of reasons. But the question is, and I kept saying to her, okay, I understand that. And for a while, maybe you have to stay there. And if you keep staying there, let's just look at it. So let's just futurecast a little bit. If you stay there for 10 years, how are you going to feel? How's that going to affect you? Who are you going to become? How's that going to affect your child and your spouse when you're going to a job you don't like? It's not tapping into your passion. How are you going to feel? And so she was like, yeah, but I need the money. And so you took the opportunity to say, well, the money will be there. Like it's going to come somewhere. Like you really believe that, and you took the leap. So when people are in that same scenario as I just described, somebody who's like, I have to have the money, and they're stuck in that mindset of the drudge, I'm going to ignore the heart feeling, I'm going to ignore the joy feeling, I'm going to go into this day by day by day. What would you tell that person? How would you help them to recognize or to move forward? What kind of advice would you offer? Or maybe questions would you offer them?
First of all, I will tell one thing first. It's when you stop chasing your success and your money and you start creating joy, everything will change. This is the first one line I would say. But of course, I know that not everybody wants to be as bold as I am together with my husband, because I know these were very radical decisions. Because I just trust in myself, I trust in us, and I trust in what I have to offer to the world. Mm-hmm. Having that said, the question that you had from your client, more than 90% of the people working in a company, a corporate company, they are stuck with that. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's not always that they don't like the job. Sometimes they really like their job and it's great, but they're doing too much and they just have to work more on their self-care. That's one thing. But if you don't like the job and you only stay for the money, I can guarantee you will get slightly burned out. Yeah. So what you said, it's like, you can be bold, but if it doesn't feel right because you're too afraid, and you don't have to act out of fear, right. What you can do is just first go and tap into your intuition and heart and ask yourself, like, what is there that I would love to do? Would it be another company to work at? Would it be in the same company but another function? Or would it be creating my own thing? Whatever it is, start to take one small action, a very small action. And if it's really radically something completely different, like something creative or something you've never done in your life, or you did when you were younger and you just forget that this is a thing that lights you up, just do it simultaneously, but then again in the weekend, or you take 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and little by little. And if this lights you up more and more, make a plan. Right. Don't get pressure come to you and fear. Don't say like, I have to do it tomorrow. You don't have to do that. You can do it, or the bold way, if it feels right. If it doesn't feel right and you want the security for your family, which I fully understand, then you do it in small little steps. Right. But always follow your heart, follow your intuition, because your intuition is right. Always.
Right.
Always.
So I think that's a great thing. I mean, I'm big into energy. I'm big into intuition, right? I want to listen to that saying. And so, when I had been an athlete since I really popped out of my mom's, belly, I was like, ta-da, I'm an athlete. And then I started doing athletic things. I was an athlete through, high school, through college, went to the Olympics, went right into basketball coaching. And so we're looking at like a good portion of my life, like up until age 50. And then I just woke up one day and I go, I'm done. Like literally, I was like, and so you're looking at all the success and all the time and all the learning. And I was like, there's just something missing. There's something missing. And I took the bold move of, like, I wasn't smart about it. So let me tell you this. And it was not smart. I just go, I'm leaving. I had no job. I had no plan. I knew I wanted to move to Montana where I live today. And so I just left. I mean, I packed up my house, sold the house, and left. I would not suggest anybody doing that, by the way. That's not the best way to do it. But I had burned all my boats. And so by doing that, I knew that I had to be successful. Like, I was like, I have to make it work. And later I found out that only 1 out of 10 people who try to speak actually make it. So 1 out of 10. If I'd have known that, I probably would have jumped into it, but I did wholeheartedly, and I found my way through it. But when you talk about intuition, like, I just knew, and people were they were flabbergasted. They were blown away by this decision of mine to leave coaching. They were told, because they were like, this is your life. And they saw me with the passion I had and all the things I was doing. And I was like, yeah, but it's not me anymore. It's just not me. Like, I could feel that inside. So when you're telling people to tap into intuition, and people maybe not have that experience of what does that voice say, or how do I get into the intuition, what would you say to them? How would you say, I mean, you said, take a walk, stop and listen, ask some questions, but I think we ignore our intuitive feelings. I think that we do that we don't really stop and wait and be, like we're always doing, and we're not being. So, so tell them, like, if somebody says, I've never like listened to myself. I've never tapped into intuition. So what would be like a couple of things you would say besides walking in nature? What else would you tell them to do?
I think the most important part there is take a coach or a mentor like you, like I, like other people, because we don't sometimes see our blind spots anymore because we're so in this circle, and at a certain time, sometimes the circle is going down and you don't see any way out anymore. And it's thanks to somebody who listens to you and asks questions like, for instance, the most important thing is clarity. Clarity on what truly matters to you. And I dived very deep into that question. And this is the first pillar of my Joy of Life method. It's all about clarity. And clarity today for you or for me or for your clients, it's clarity today. It's not the same maybe as what was the answer 2 months ago or will be the answer in 1 year. And that's fine. But just being clear what you want. Do you want another job? Do you want to have your own company? Do you want another function? What are the things? So getting crystal clear and just me asking questions until I see a smile. And when you see a smile, there is a sign this is what is truly important for you. And truly important can also be, I'd like to spend more time with my family, or I'd like to do more things just for me and not only for the company. So whatever that clarity is for you, it's fine. And out of that clarity, which you define with somebody who really is present with you, you always tap into your own intuition of that moment.
I agree. What a beautiful thing to do is talk about clarity. I think a lot of people just wake up in the morning, put their shoes on and go to work. Like that's, they don't question, they don't feel. Like we're so good at turning off our emotions. I think that we've learned to turn off our emotions, to not feel and to not think about it, because if it's something we don't like, we're like, well, I have to do it anyway. So why feel about it or why think about it? And so we can get into clarity, like, what do you really feel? What does that mean to you? If you could do anything in the world today, what would it be? And they'd say, well, if I had enough money, you're like, no. Let's don't put limitations out there first. Let's don't build the limitations first and then try to find it. Let's just be real and find out who you really are. So that's your first step. So tell me what your second step is in this Joy of Life method.
I just wanted to say something first, because this is so beautiful when you say we just tap into our ratio and we don't dream anymore. When I ask questions about clarity, what I normally do, I say like, when you close your eyes and dream you think you're 5 years ahead. Imagine you can dream whatever you want. There is this magic wand. Money is not involved. Time is not involved. Just dream big. In the beginning, I said, what would it be? What would be your dream if you could make a wish, like the most amazing wish in your life? There is silence because I stopped dreaming in general. Most of the people who are working like in a negative spiral, they stop dreaming for it and they don't even know what they wish.
Agreed.
And it's just by going away from the head and going back into this heart. And what did you like? What brings you joy every day? What did you like when you were 7 years old? What way it made you smile? What will you get out of bed jumping with a big smile? And this is what you said, it's the dream. And we forget to dream.
Agreed.
And this is huge.
Yeah, so, we forget to, I'll come back to the second part, but I think that this is a big thing that people don't understand, is that they've had a failure or they've had a past, and that stops the dream because we let our past failure or past emotional experience decide for us what we can and cannot do today. And so it's like, well, I used to dream, but then X, and X happened, so I don't want to go back to that pain, so now I'm not going to dream anymore. And so how many people shut down all possibilities because of something that happened in the past? That's when we stop dreaming. We just are fearful of that, failure or the emotional pain that went with it or whatever. We just want to not dream. So if we don't dream, then we think, and this is our, subconscious mind keeping us safe. We think if we don't dream, then we won't be hurt.
This is the most beautiful limiting belief that you just gave there. And I agree with the thought of many people. And this is so beautiful that what you did as well, you also boldly stopped because you had a dream. You wanted to speak. And you said like, afterwards, I heard like 1 out of 10 only survived there. But you know what? If you start dreaming, start believing in yourself, and then creating the space that energy comes to you. Because if you're in a spiral, and this is why we also took this bold decision, even though after 20 years having this thriving business of the B&B, I said like, I know if I stop that, something else together with my dream, everything will fall together because you create space that things come to you. If you're like in your rat race, there is nothing coming to you. And if there would, you wouldn't even see it because you're so exhausted and you're not open to it. And just stopping, not always as bold as we did, it's all fine, but stopping and let things come to you and be open. And this is why I said walk in nature. I'm not saying this just because I love nature, but this is what nature does with you. It makes you slow down and things will come to you. If you're behind your computer, if you're behind your social media, there will not be so creative things coming to you. So this is why I do believe that sometimes, even if it's not such a bold stop, but give yourself this permission to slow down, that things come to you, open space for energy, and just dream back again. And do like as if you're like 7 years old and jump and sing and do crazy things, what we call crazy things, but these are normal things, and live again.
Yeah.
This is the basis in life. And while we were getting adults, it's like society tells us, forget that part. This is not important. I am here to say this is the most important part in your life, in leadership, in business. And this is today the new way of having leadership. Is having this joy, is having this energy, and being open for these things.
Absolutely. I think that, you say joy and I would say play. I think that people forget how to play. And so they, as we grow up, we're supposed to stop playing. Well, what I decided is, because I worked so hard, and I was tunnel vision for so long about, gotta get a win. We gotta get this. I gotta get to this. I gotta get this title. I gotta get this recognition. I gotta get this. And so everything was focused on that. And that joy was so short-lived because it was always already the next, what else do I need to do the next? And so there wasn't that moment of just enjoying. And so when I stopped coaching and I went into this business, I said, one of my promises to myself was, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to stop and I'm going to do the things I really, really love that I've missed. So I have friends that are really great. We'll do things like pumpkin carving. I mean, we're all adults and we do a pumpkin carving contest. At Easter, we do an Easter egg hunt, right? And people are like, oh, seriously, it's the funniest thing I've ever done. We did plastic eggs at a campground and we hid them all over the place. And we're looking for those forever because we couldn't remember where we hid them. We're laughing about we couldn't remember where we hid them. And then we had little tokens inside the plastic eggs, it might be a quarter, it could be $1, it could be something somebody bought. Sometimes I put moose poop in some of them so that people open up. But it was just fun. We forget to play. We don't give ourselves permission to play. And so that's the joy, is because all of a sudden we're adults, which means we have to stop playing. No. That doesn't mean we need to stop playing, because this is where our energy is, we rise up our energy. Our energy is gained through play. We get excited. We're passionate. We're laughing. We're in joy. And all of a sudden, like you said, you give yourself space. So tell me more. Like you said, one was clarity. What was the second thing that you find in the Joy of Life method that really helps people move forward?
Okay. So number one, as you said, it's clarity. And by the way, the clarity, it's key to, your mind will calm down thanks to the clarity, and your stress and overwhelm will come down. So this is why it's not only important to know what is that you want, but it's already to calm down the stress and overwhelm. Number two, it's prioritize self-care. So it's all about you, about your overall well-being, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical well-being. And why? Because this will boost your energy. So most of the people I work with, the prioritizing self-care, they don't prioritize it. They do it all the way at the end. If maybe they have still a little bit of time at the end of the day or at the end of the week. And you can't pour out of an empty cup. And this is why I put it number one, because apart from the clarity, when the stress goes down, you have to boost your energy. So it's all about prioritizing self-care. And I give them lots of tips to work on that part. And it's not complicated. It doesn't cost any money. It's just another way of living, another way of having some routines and rituals in your life.
Right.
This is number 2. You'd like me to say a little bit
So
more
let's
about
stop there
number 3?
because I have a question. Now I have a question.
Of course.
So
No problem.
what most women, and you work with women a lot, what most women do is they prioritize their spouse, children's spouse somewhere, right? Then if they're a business person, it's their business. So it's like, my team or what I have to accomplish at business. And then it's their team members. So they have all these other things that occur before they get to themselves. And what I found is convincing women that to fill their cup first is most essential, right? Is most essential. So, how do you help them understand, like, this is so important because when you fill your cup, you're able to give more to others, right? If your cup is empty, then what are you giving? You're giving less and less and less. But what are some of the things that you can do to help women understand that how essential this is? This is so, so important, Cindy. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said this. It's so critical, not just to women, but to everybody. But women tend to really put themselves last.
But it is, like you say, it is so crucial. And that's why I start with it. Mm-hmm. And I always give the example, which is very known, but it helps them to position it in a different way. And then I give some tips. So the example is like in an airplane. They always say, if there's a problem, the masks fall down, always put on your oxygen first before you can help your children. It is exactly the same story. Because if you don't do that, you will be able to help your children for a while. But then when there's no oxygen anymore, you won't be able to help your children. This is exactly what's happening in day-to-day life. And the second thing I just say is try it out. I give some tips from a morning ritual, starting with 1 minute a day, because I don't want to overwhelm them. Of course, if you do it 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever is possible for you, or even 1 hour, there will be quicker effects if you do it more. Not quicker effects, but you will have more energy. But even you do it for a day, just take 1 little minute for you. And the most simple thing is meditation with breathing and gratefulness. These are the 3 magical ingredients. You use these 3, you take 1 moment, whatever, if you're in the shower, you're still in bed before everybody wakes up, and you are doing or a guided meditation. There are so many guided meditation on the internet. Mm-hmm. If you can combine this with some breathing, and then be grateful for 3-4 things that you had the past day or that you just had that week, your energy will shift from the morning. Mm-hmm. And this is just one way. I've got different little tips, but I just asked them, try this and do it for 1 day, 2 day, 3, and tell me how it looks like. What did change? And not only when they wake up calmer, they will be calmer towards their children because they are in this energy of calmness. Mm-hmm. And this will reflect towards the children, but the same will happen in the job with the colleagues and whatever. So it's a ripple effect, but it's just trying it out and being in the present moment and start with yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that when we understand that we can't give what we don't have, when we really understand that, I mean, you talked about the oxygen in the airplane, but if you don't have joy, you can't give joy. If you don't have love, you can't give love. If you don't have understanding, you can't give that. Like you have to, that's why it's so important to give to yourself first. Because the more you give to yourself, the more you can offer to people. And this is why people, so many times coaching clients are like, I just don't have time. I'm like, this is the most essential thing you can do for your company, for your spouse, for your children. So by giving to yourself first, you can give to everybody else. Most people run around with a cup that's almost empty. And so they're trying to give from something they don't have. And then, so it sounds or feels, it doesn't feel the same, right? And so it's that idea of really, if you want to do more for the world, you give to yourself first. And the ideas of meditation is really important, Cindy. I love that. Gratitude, super important. Breath work, super important. These are things that if you start the day like this, I guarantee you that it'll be different for you. I guarantee you that you will shift, and you don't even know you're shifting. You will shift, and all of a sudden, all of your interactions, your relationships are different.
And also there, when you talk about all this, people, they sometimes misunderstand that success and where it's coming from. And they think, I have to hustle, I have to give. No, it starts with joy and working on yourself, working on your self-care. It is a way of creating and building your joy. And I always say, joy is not a result of success. It is the foundation of it. So first start with this joy, with this self-care, with this clarity, with all these different pillars, and then success will follow. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes a shift in mindset of people, but it's so crucial. So thanks for saying it again.
I love it. I think that you and I obviously think a lot alike on the subject. But convincing people who are in the rat race to slow down and to stop and do something fun. I just think that when I coached basketball and I would see my team getting, they feel the pressure, they'd feel overwhelmed, whatever. And people come to my practice and they're like, you guys are playing stack tag. You're playing tag. Like, what does this have to do with basketball? I'm like, this has to do with fun. Like this has to do, I want them to laugh. I want them to let go. I want them to have fun. And people would just be blown away because we'd be doing something that had nothing at all to do with basketball, but it had to do with fun. And I found when they had fun, then, they would release some of the pressure. They would feel better. They would have more energy and all those things. And so, we just included fun as part of our practices, or part of like anytime that I felt the team was getting too stressed, I was like, okay, what can we do to have fun? What can we do to shift it? And that was just a big shift and things that a lot of other coaches didn't do because they were so focused on, we got to get better. I'm like, we got to have fun. Like if we're not having fun, I can guarantee you when you go to play, all the tension will come into you. You're not going to be able to shoot the ball. You're going to be thinking you're going to be tight. All your muscles are tight. And I just think this is the same thing we should carry over to the workplace. How many people think of work as we should make sure that there's fun when we go to work?
There are not so many that think like that. And the same, what you're telling in sports, like I said, this pressure that you will have in sports as well, the same happens in the corporate world or for your own company. But if you act out of pressure, you won't have the same results as if you act out of presence. And it is proven that your prefrontal cortex, it just delivers better results when it is more calm than when there's pressure and stress. And the pressure, this is the only thing that we are putting on ourselves. We are putting this pressure on our shoulders because we think we're not enough. We think we have to do more to get better results. It's just the other way around. So I've got so many nice things to say to my clients that everything they thought, it's just the other way around. We flip it around. And this is where results come in. And, it's like I say, it's a game and it needs to be fun. But of course, yes, you need to take action. It's not only just fun, like I do it for 5 minutes and it's done. No, you have to take aligned actions, but in a fun, aligned way. And then results will really appear in an amazing exponential way.
That's so beautiful. So tell us your third method. So you're talking about your method when people come in to work with you, they're coming to coach with you. And so clarity is number one. Number two is really finding this ability to tap into your imagination, tap back into your dreams, to feel that power of imagination again, to let yourself have fun. And the third is...
Yeah, and second, this is the self-care. And the third, it's working smarter, not harder. So the third is, how can I prioritize my things? What are my top 3 priorities in order that I will create more time, in order that I will gain like 1 hour a day to do the things I love. And this is connected with the self-care, because if you want to create more self-care, you want also a little bit more extra time. And I help them and give them tips how to be more productive and not more busy, but more productive, and how to focus on high income, high impact activities in order that they work on the things they want and they gain 1 hour a day. So this is the work smarter, not harder part.
Oh, I love that. I mean, it's how many people work hard all day long and get nothing done, right? I mean, nothing important done. That means nothing important done. But they're like, I got done X. I got all this done, but it didn't move the needle anywhere. I mean, they can feel like I got something done, but you didn't get the right things done that are going to get you to where you want to go. And that's so important. So much good stuff there. Cindy, I just love it. I love it. So one of the things you and I talk about a lot is limiting beliefs. Right? We talk about these limiting beliefs that stop us in our tracks. We don't even know they exist. I didn't even know they existed until I was probably 40. Man, I wish I would have known they existed when I was an athlete, right? When I was playing the Olympics and I was my own, I self-sabotaged everywhere. But how do you discover these in people or help people discover them themselves so they'll stop doing the things that prevent them from getting to where they want to go? Because it's always this belief that we have, and a belief is just a thought we keep thinking, right? So we think it enough that it becomes a belief. How do you help them discover that?
Thank you, Sherry, because this is my step number 4 in my program. It's all, and I never told you, so you didn't
tell
know.
me. Intuitive.
Intuitive. We're on the same level there. No, it's all about mindset. And when you have a limiting belief, it's quite easy. In general, this limiting belief, you just go back to the past and say, where did it happen? In general, it's between the age of 3 and 7. In general, it are our parents or the teachers or some close friends that said something on a regular basis. And at a certain time, we just believed it at that age, and this became our belief. So when you go back to that time, it's like, do I still believe that? Is this still true for me? Is this still true for my job, for my life, for whatever? And recognizing that, no, this was what my parents told me. And again, these limiting beliefs that they had, in general, they came from their generation. So it's like passing on from generation to generation. And we just take it because we're young and we believe our parents or our teachers, and just you saying stop. And it's so easy. Working on your mind, saying like, no. This is a decision. I don't want to believe this anymore. Number 2, what is a more empowering belief that I want to believe today? And you start saying it and you start affirmating it and say like, okay, I'm done with what my parents or my teacher told me, and I believe what I truly believe now. And your limiting belief can stop, together with, of course, also a little small habits there to change the habits that are linked mostly with this limiting belief. And so again, for me, mindset, it's going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Not only that, it's turning challenges into opportunities, thanks to the fact that you have a growth mindset, and also celebrating your wins and your learnings. And knowing the wins are great, because this is fun to celebrate the small win, even the small wins. Yes, I took a minute of meditation today. That's a win. And that's a great win to celebrate. But the lessons are in the learnings, because these learnings means there was a challenge. Things didn't went like you wanted to be. So you tweaked things, you adapted, and you found a way. And this is where your growth will be. And this will bring you out of your comfort zone, but this will give you joy and happiness. So this is number 4. It is mindset, and it makes you, it's like in sport, it's a muscle. If you understand that your mindset is a muscle, and you just have to work with this muscle so that you're ready, because I can tell you, for everyone, if you're a leader in a big company, if you're a leader in your own company, challenges will happen.
Always.
And if you're ready to adapt, and have this adaptability of your mindset when the challenges come, you will be faster than everybody else. And just knowing that it's like a little game, like it happens, don't become a victim and say, why? But say, what can I do? And change the question. And your mindset will become like a great muscle, shifting from fixed to growth mindset. And this is where also changes happen.
Yeah, it's the mindset. I think the mindset is the key to all of this, right? And I believe that when you understand where it came from, and you understand that your parents didn't know better. So if they taught you something, they didn't know better. It's something they learned from their parents, who learned from their parents. I mean, like ancestral, like you go back from generations. And so we don't know. And we go along in life with this belief system that's not serving us. It's not serving us in any way. And in fact, it's probably giving us a lot of pain. And I think that when you get to that aha of like, that's why X and X happened to me, because I had this mindset that took me into this place. I'll give you a quick example. So my mom used to sing this song to me. It was a terrible song. It's called, I don't know what the title of it is. I call it the worm song. But this is the lyrics. Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. You need to eat some worms. Right? That's the first 3 lines. Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. You need to eat some worms. And so when you're young, you can't differentiate, right, between all this stuff. You don't know, it's just a silly thing. You think it's true about you. I went through a majority of my life believing this, not knowing I believed it. But as I would go into these, little sports teams, I'd go into the team and I'd think they didn't like me, because nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. So I would interpret every single thing they did as they didn't like me. Well, so then I would separate from the team. So here's the team, and here's Sherry. Right? Well, they thought because I had this talent of an athlete that I thought I was too good for them. This story repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats over and over and over again. And then I think it's terrible. People are awful. People are mean. People are bad. People are like, that becomes my story. Well, it was a long time before I understood that all of this was created from this silly little song, and it was never true. And when I let that song alone, when I just decided, like, I'm not, this is silly, it's ridiculous. It was a song, it never meant to do all this stuff. And I started thinking people like me, everything shifted. That never repeated in my life again. Never. Right? And so it's that idea of what we do to ourselves that we don't even know we're doing. And like you said, coaches can help you uncover that. They can help you, decades. I spent decades in that belief system, decades of pain, of emotional pain. And so we think about it like what you can do in your Joy of Life method, what I can do in my coaching methods, how we can help people, avoid this and really reach joy faster. So Cindy, why don't you tell people, if there's one thing you could offer, like if a question I haven't asked you yet that you really wanted to answer, or if there's some golden nugget that you want to leave the people today, what would that be?
For me, everything is concerning joy. So what I would say is that success in general, it's not only about the achievements, but it's about the joy, the freedom and the impact that you get along the way. And if you understand that joy is really not a luxury, but for me, it's a strategy. It's a leadership strategy. And if you accept that and just go back again, what brings me joy? If I can help people just to find one thing that brings them joy today with this beautiful conversation, I would be more than happy, because this is for me the foundation of everything. And creating a ripple effect of joy, it would really transform the world. And for me, it's a new currency in leadership. And it isn't fluffy, because a couple of years, if you were talking about it, especially also men were very skeptical. I have lots of podcasts and conversations about joy in leadership in a positive way, not in a fluffy way.
Right.
But if you lead, it's how you lead yourself that you lead others. So this is for me the new currency and a new edge in leadership.
So tell people how to reach you, Cindy, because I'm sure after people listen to this, they're like, "Oh, I need to talk to this woman. I need to figure it out. I want to live with more joy. I want to live with this incredible new attitude. I want to," and it's not just this new feeling, but how that transfers into your leadership, how that transfers into you if you're an entrepreneur. How do people reach you?
So the most simple way is I'm on LinkedIn with my name, Cindy van Eekhout. I'm there daily, so they can direct message me, they can follow me, they can see all the things I'm posting there. So this is one way. And the second way is just if this really if this is resonating with you, go and check out my website. It's alegriacoaching.eu. I don't know if you're going to post it somewhere, but it's ALEGRIA coaching.eu. And on my website, there are some tips and tricks, but there is a very nice Joy of Life assessment. It's completely free, and it will not only help you to discover what is giving you stress and overwhelm, but it will give you complete personalized tips to lower the stress and to reclaim more time, freedom and joy that you deserve. So go and check out my website. Come and engage with me on LinkedIn and direct message me. I would be more than happy to bring more joy into your life and into your business.
So folks, listen, I love this lady. I love this lady. She's not fake. She's real. When you're feeling her energy, when you're hearing her words, all of this is true. If you're seeking that person that can help you move out of the place you're in to more joy so that you can be and feel differently in your life, in your leadership, in your entrepreneurship, this is the person for you. Her name is Cindy van Eekhout. Please, please, please look her up on LinkedIn, go to her website, take that assessment, because you're going to be better as a result of that. So everybody, thank you for being here today. Please share this with other folks so that they too can hear and know and shift their lives into greater joy, and have a winning day. Bye now.
Can I say one last thing, Sherry?
Absolutely.
First of all, thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful to have had this beautiful conversation with you. I do hope your audience will have some good insights out of it. But I wanted to congratulate you with your new book, because I know you are a winner as well. So congratulations. I think you're doing great it's not the first one. It's, you have already so incredible, great books. And also there, I would say to people check out the books that Sherry is making, because this is true gold with lots of golden nuggets of leaders all over the world, because it's not only you, it's your knowledge together with some inspiring things of leaders all over the world. So again, very grateful for this great conversation, and we see each other very soon. Bye.
Bye.